How would you feel if someone sold you an entire airport? Sounds impossible, right? Well, buckle up because we're about to dive into one of the most audacious scams in history. A tale of deception so grand it'll make your head spin. Picture this. It's 1995 and Nelson Sakaguchi, a manager at the Brazilian Banco Noroeste, receives an unexpected call. On the other end, a voice claiming to be Paul Aguma, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Now, that's not your everyday phone call, is it? The supposed governor starts talking about a massive opportunity, a chance to invest in a brand new airport in Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. The price tag? A cool $250 million. But here's the kicker. There was no airport, no construction plans, no land, nothing. It was all an elaborate ruse, a house of cards waiting to tumble. But how did this audacious scheme come to be? And more importantly, who was the mastermind behind it? Let's rewind a bit. In the early 90s, Nigeria was buzzing with development. Abuja had just been declared the new capital in 1991, and there was talk of big infrastructure projects. It was the perfect smokescreen for our yet-to-be-revealed con artist. He saw an opportunity, and boy, did he seize it. Our mystery man wasn't working alone. He'd assembled a crack team of 5 accomplices, all with deep knowledge of the banking sector. Together, they crafted a plan so intricate, so believable, it would make Hollywood scriptwriters jealous. The first move? Sending out meticulously crafted faxes to banks worldwide. These weren't your run-of-the-mill spam emails. No, these were official-looking documents from a fictitious person named Taristia William, supposedly from the Financial Planning and Budgeting Department of the Nigerian Ministry of Aviation. The faxes sought investors for this phantom airport project, emphasizing the rapid growth of Abuja and the potential for substantial returns. And guess what? Someone bit. When Sakaguchi received that fax, dollar signs must have flashed before his eyes. I mean, can you blame him? An airport in a booming capital city? That's a gold mine. But our scammers weren't done yet. Oh no, they were just getting started. They arranged a meeting in London. Neutral ground, they said. Imagine the scene: luxurious hotel suites, limousine rides, and a group of Nigerian officials presenting detailed plans for this non-existent airport. It was a performance worthy of an Oscar. Each member of the team played a specific role. One as the governor, another as the deputy governor, and a third as the director of aviation. They even had fake documents, business plans, and photographs with Nigerian politicians to bolster their credibility. And the cherry on top? A personal commission of $10 million for Sakaguchi if he could seal the deal. Talk about motivation, right? Our con man, still masquerading as the central bank governor, emphasized the need for confidentiality, claiming the project wouldn't start for another 4 to 5 years. This clever tactic prevented Sakaguchi from making inquiries that might expose the fraud. Sakaguchi, caught up in the excitement and potential profit, agreed to the deal. But before he left London, our fraudsters pulled another trick. They convinced him to transfer a $3 million deposit as proof of commitment. And just like that, the hook was set. Over the next 3 years, from 1995 to 1998, Sakaguchi transferred a staggering $242 million to our scammers. That's nearly $500 million in today's money. The fraudsters spread this fortune across 17 banks in different countries, covering their tracks like pros. Sakaguchi, to avoid detection, never transferred more than $6 million at a time, the maximum he could move without board approval. But here's where it gets really interesting. These weren't your average thieves. They didn't blow the money on champagne and sports cars. No, they invested in real estate across Nigeria and worldwide, and bought shares in companies. They were playing the long game. Now you might be wondering, how on earth did they keep this charade going for 3 whole years? Well, they sent Sakaguchi fake documents, contracts, and photos, all showing progress on the airport. It was a masterclass in deception. But as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. In 1998, Banco Noroeste was being acquired by Banco Santander, Spain's largest bank. During the due diligence process, they discovered a third of the bank's capital was missing. Oops. When confronted, Sakaguchi spilled the beans, famously saying, "You know, I've always had gambling in my blood." And just like that, the house of cards came tumbling down. An international investigation was launched, and all roads led back to Nigeria. Initially, Nigerian banks refused to cooperate with the investigation. Why? Well, our cunning fraudsters had been bribing banks and officials behind the scenes, but under pressure from Western banks, particularly Swiss banks threatening to block their accounts, the Nigerian banks finally revealed the identities of the account holders. So, Who was the mastermind behind this incredible scam? It was none other than Emmanuel Nwoud, a former director of Union Bank of Nigeria. Nwoud had used his knowledge of the banking system to pull off one of the biggest cons in history. But here's the twist. Due to lax financial crime laws in Nigeria at the time, Nwoud and his gang initially walked free. It wasn't until 2003 when Nigeria's new president, Olusegun Obasanjo, established the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission that justice finally caught up with them. In 2004, Nwoud and 4 of his accomplices were arrested. Curiously, the 6th member of the team had died in a mysterious car crash during the investigation, leading to speculation about foul play. The trial was like something out of a movie. Nwoud tried every trick in the book to derail the proceedings. He attempted to bribe officials and jury members, leading the judge to transfer the trial from Abuja to Lagos. He even arranged a fake bomb threat to disrupt the court, but his efforts were in vain. The prosecution brought in a surprise witness, Nelson Sakaguchi himself. His testimony proved damning for Nwoud, providing detailed evidence of the fraud. Faced with overwhelming evidence, Nwoud tried to negotiate. He initially offered to return just $10 million, but the prosecution wouldn't budge. In the end, Nwoud agreed to return $120 million of the stolen money and pay a $10 million fine to the Nigerian government. He was sentenced to 25 years in prison, a fitting punishment for such an audacious crime. However, in a turn of events that would surprise absolutely no one familiar with his slippery ways, he served less than 5 years. After his release, Nwoud managed to recover about $50 million in properties through legal maneuvering. He lived freely for many years, but the story doesn't end there. In 2016, Nwoud was arrested again, this time on charges related to a land dispute that resulted in violence and a security guard's death. He allegedly sent 200 men to attack a town over a land disagreement, leading to the shooting of police officers and the guard's murder. As of the latest information available, Nwoud was in custody awaiting trial for this new charge. But given his history of evading justice, who knows what the final chapter of his story will be. So, there you have it. The tale of how one man sold a fake airport for $242 million. Next time someone tries to sell you an airport, maybe think twice, eh? And remember, if something sounds too good to be true, especially if it comes with a $10 million commission, it probably is. If you enjoyed this thrilling tale of the heist of the century, please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. Here are more incredible true crime stories you might enjoy. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Goodbye.